Welcome to Storybridge English, where learning becomes your bridge to excellence.
Lord of the Flies, written by William Golding, retold by Storybridge English.
Listen and shadow.
During a war, a plane carrying British schoolboys crashes on a deserted tropical island. No adults survive, and the boys are left to fend for themselves. At first, the island seems like a paradise. Golden beaches, fruit trees, and freedom from rules. The boys are excited. It feels like a great adventure. Ralph, tall and confident, finds a large conch shell. When he blows into it, the sound gathers all the boys together. They realize they need order, so they hold a vote. Ralph is elected chief. Jack, the leader of the choir boys, is angry, but accepts the role of hunter. Piggy, overweight but intelligent, becomes Ralph's advisor. Piggy's glasses, the only way to make fire, symbolize reason and science. The boys build a signal fire, hoping a ship will see the smoke. But their carelessness lets the fire spread out of control. A section of the forest burns and one small boy disappears. For the first time, the boys realize their freedom carries danger. Ralph wants shelters and the signal fire. Most of the younger children play in the sand or swim, leaving the work undone. Jack, however, grows obsessed with hunting pigs. At first, he fails, but when he paints his face with clay, he feels free from shame. The paint becomes a mask, hiding his civilized identity and unlocking his savage instincts. Soon, Jack and his hunters succeed in killing a pig. The boys celebrate wildly, smearing themselves with blood. Ralph is frustrated. While Jack was hunting, the fire went out, and a ship passed unnoticed. Ralph insists they need order and rescue, while Jack wants only the thrill of the hunt. At night, fear spreads among the Litlands. They whisper about a beast. Ralph and Piggy insist there is no beast. But fear is stronger than logic. One night, a dead parachutist from the war drifts down, landing on the mountain. His body moves in the wind, and the boys believe they have seen the beast. Fear grows uncontrollable. Fear begins to divide the boys. Jack accuses Ralph of being a weak leader, using the fear of the beast to build his own power. Many boys begin to follow him. Simon, gentle and thoughtful, spends time alone in the forest. He senses the real danger is not an external beast, but something within the boys themselves. When he climbs the mountain, he discovers the truth. The beast is only the corpse of a parachutist. He rushes down to tell the others. But that night, during a storm, the boys gather around a fire. They chant, dance, and act like hunters. In their frenzy, they mistake Simon for the beast and kill him with their hands and spears. His body is carried into the sea, surrounded by glowing creatures. Ralph and Piggy know what really happened, but cannot bring themselves to admit it. Simon's death shows how fear and violence can destroy innocence. Jack now leads his own tribe. They paint their faces, chant, and live only for hunting and power. They kill a pig and place its head on a stick as an offering to the beast. Covered with flies, it becomes the Lord of the Flies, a powerful symbol of the evil inside humans. Simon imagines it speaking to him, telling him the beast is within them all. Ralph's group shrinks while Jack's grows. One night, Jack's hunters attack Ralph's camp and steal Piggy's glasses. Without them, Ralph's group cannot make fire. Piggy insists they must confront Jack and demand his glasses back. At the confrontation, Roger, Jack's cruel lieutenant, pushes a huge boulder. It hits Piggy, killing him instantly. The conch shell shatters into pieces. With Piggy dead and the conch destroyed, both reason and order vanish from the island. Civilization is gone. Ralph is now alone. Jack orders his tribe to hunt him down like an animal. They sharpen their spears at both ends and set the forest on fire. The flames consume the island, once beautiful but now turned into chaos. Ralph runs desperately, terrified and exhausted, until he falls onto the beach. There he looks up and sees a naval officer in uniform. The officer came after seeing the enormous smoke. Suddenly, the painted boys remember they are just children. The savage masks fall away, and they begin to weep. Ralph cries for the loss of Piggy, for Simon, and for the end of innocence. One by one, the other boys cry too, while the officer looks away, uncomfortable. The Lord of the Flies is a story about human nature and the fragile line between civilization and savagery. The conch shell symbolizes order and democracy. Its destruction shows the collapse of civilization. Piggy's glasses symbolize reason and science. When stolen, logic is replaced by chaos. The beast represents the fear within every person. The Lord of the Flies is a physical image of evil, showing how corruption grows when rules disappear. The fire is both hope and destruction. It is meant for rescue, but ends up burning the island. William Golding suggests that civilization is fragile. Without rules and shared responsibility, people can quickly lose their humanity. The boys' descent into savagery mirrors the war outside the island, showing that the struggle between good and evil exists in every human heart.
Quick understanding check.
1. Who is elected as the first chief on the island? Pause and select the answer. B. Ralph. 2. What is the main purpose of the signal fire? Pause and select the answer. C. To signal passing ships for rescue. 3. What do the boys mistake the dead parachutist for? Pause and select the answer. B. The beast. 4. Which object allows the boys to make fire? Pause and select the answer. C. Piggy's glasses. 5. How are the boys finally rescued? Pause and select the answer. C. A naval officer sees the smoke from the forest fire. 6. Why does face paint change the hunter's behavior? Pause and select the answer. D. It hides their identity and reduces shame, unleashing savagery. 7. What does the destruction of the conch symbolize? Pause and select the answer. D. Collapse of order, democracy, and shared rules. 8. What thematic point is suggested by fire being used for both rescue and destruction? Pause and select the answer. B. Tools of civilization can become destructive without responsibility. 9. Why is Simon's death central to the novel's message? Pause and select the answer. C. It reveals how fear-driven mob violence destroys truth and innocence. 10. The boys' descent into savagery mirrors the war outside the island. What broader idea does this parallel support? Pause and select the answer. A. Savagery and corruption can exist in any society, not just on the island.
Excellent job! You're getting better every day. Step by step, you're crossing the bridge to English. Now try the next level video or explore another story to practice more English. And don't forget, subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Let's keep learning together here at Storybridge English.